What are you wearing? What is your spiritual attire? I'm not talking about your physical clothes, because physical sees physical. Spiritual sees spiritual. Just reading from Acts 19, verse 15. One day, the evil spirit answered them, Jesus I know, and Paul I know about, but who are you? I want to pose this question. Why do you think we wear a uniform? To show both department and rank. True? So what's your spiritual authority level? What are you spiritually wearing, I wonder? What does it actually mean for you to wear spiritual robes and garments? It's so easy to look through these eyes that are physical and see only the physical. I pray that God, if you're listening to this, I'm praying that God will open up your spiritual eyes so that you can see the spiritual things. Because I do believe that when we start to see into the spiritual, we can start to see what is actually happening. I mean, by all means, look, if you want to continue on the basis that what you see here is what you get and that's it, Bob's your uncle, by all means, that is not where I'm going. No way. No way. There is too much going on. There is no. Definitely not taking this as face value for what's actually happening. And God's just reminded me of let's see if we can find it. God's reminded me of the story where the servant was nervous about the armies surrounding. Let's see if we can find it, because God wants me to mention this one. I wonder who it is. Was it Elijah or... If you've been patient, you are awesome. Oh, perfect. Okay. 2 Kings chapter 6 and 17, where Elisha prays for his servant's eyes to be opened. Let's read this one. There is power here. Open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see. Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. No, it's interesting how Elisha says, open his eyes. His eyes were already open, but these were not the eyes, of course, that he was praying about. Open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see. Imagine being able to see into that realm all around us. All around us. What amazing confirmation. Oh, just wow, lots of wonderful things actually. And onwards we will go, okay? Thank you for being patient if you were. So what are you wearing? Isaiah 61 verse 10. I am overwhelmed with joy in the Lord my God, for he has dressed me with the clothing of salvation and draped me in a robe of righteousness. I am like a bridegroom dressed for his wedding, or a bride with her jewels. It's so important to be aware of what we are spiritually wearing. And some people, I felt that God had told me this earlier, some people have ripped their clothes off, their spiritual clothes off, because of what someone has done to them. And this is a really sad thing, because we have lots of verses talking about how we garments of praise, putting on the armor of the Lord, wearing garments of joy, and just, yeah, like there are so many verses there talking about garments and the things that we wear, righteousness. But what is sad is when somebody else affects our spiritual clothes. When somebody else is the reason for you tearing off your robe. 2 Samuel 13 verses 18 till 19. And we're talking here about David's daughter Tamar. Now as she was clothed in a long-sleeved, multicolored, ornamental tunic, commonly worn by the king's virgin daughters, when Abin's servants threw her out and locked the door after her, Tamar rubbed her head with ashes, tore her tunic that she was wearing, put her hand to her head, and ran off crying as she went. And understandably so, she was violated. Understandably so. She tore her clothes. She was upset. But you cannot live in torn clothes. You cannot live in spiritually torn clothes. Can I just ask you, what are your clothes like? Would you ask God just to reveal to you? Would you ask God to reveal to you what you spiritually wear? I mean, our physical clothes, it's not really important, not overly. But your spiritual clothes, what does your spirit wear? That's so much more important. What does your spirit wear? And can I just pray for you if you feel like you have been deeply hurt and deeply wounded? That if you have reached a point where you have torn your clothes, where you've torn your spiritual clothes, can I just pray that you have healing and restoration? Because there is no king that would want his sons or daughters to still be wearing ripped tunics. Because his abundance is overflowing. And he says that you might have ripped that one and pulled it to shreds, but he has more than enough. He has more than enough money to purchase you a new set. And if you feel like you've been wearing some pretty rotten rags of resentment, some really bitter tunics, if they're dull and lackluster, if they're grey, if they're miserable, if they're mourning, God invites you to come out of that place. He invites you to come into his glorious riches, into his wonderful presence. He has a new set of clothes for you to wear. And you know, there's so many garments in the wardrobe of his. Like, there's so much there. And it's, what do you want to wear? But not this old broken thing, not this thing that's been ripped and, not this one. It's time for a new one. If you feel like that's you, would you put me like a little dress emoji in the comments? Time for a new tunic. tunic change time. It's time to redress. It's time to put on the new, to let go of the old. It is time. Time. It's time to get dressed afresh. If you've enjoyed this, actually, you know what, like the video, subscribe, that would be awesome. That encourages me. Leaving comments encourages me. But God bless you. If you've listened this far, God bless you. And I pray that you have a beautiful new tunic that you get to actually see with your spiritual eyes. God bless.